As directed by the Deputy Registrar of the High Court, in preparation for our appearance before the bench, which is yet to give us any directions, I have submitted the copies of the pleadings the petitioners are relying on to make the case that to make the case on two fronts. One, that the process of making the budget was irregular and was done outside the law. And two, that the budget itself, the contents of the budget are to some extent fraudulent. There's what we call budgeted corruption within that budget, which if removed, then Kenyans will not have to pay through the nose, the way we are being forced to pay. So that's why we took the trouble to produce the evidence, which runs to 2,365 pages, to show that the budget-making process in Kenya is totally unconstitutional. It violates the Constitution. It violates the Public Finance Management Act. It violates the Public Finance Management Regulations 2015, and it violates many other laws that govern this country. We have also, within that, have been able to isolate clear cases of budgeted corruption, whereby money is placed in the budget with no corresponding expenditure that benefits the public. So we hope that when we get to the bench, we'll have the chance, me and my co-petitioners, to demonstrate to Kenyans that we have got to the point whereby now we must do things according to the Constitution. The Constitution is not just, a decorative document, it's the absolute law. And anything that goes against the Constitution must not be tolerated. Whether the heavens fall or not, the Constitution must come out supreme. So that's what I've done today, and we have discharged as petitioners. We have discharged our part of the requirement that we file our documents, and we wait for the court to give us directions as to when the hearing will commence.
When is the next meeting?
Pardon?
When is the meeting?
No, we have not been given any directions as to when we are appearing before the bench. There have been no directions so far. We only told you to bring our pleadings, which on the behalf of the 7 petitioners, I have brought my pleadings. But as you are aware, after I and my co-petitioners filed our petition 181 of 2023, there have been about 10 other petitions that have been filed that we are going to be heard alongside our petition as the lead file. So we are still waiting for directions of the court, and we undertake to keep the timelines imposed on us by the court. To vacate the orders, we are enjoying the orders that the Honorable Thande gave us, suspending the finance bill. And I hope when you looked at your pay slips this time you did not notice any deductions. And if there's any deduction, please let me know so that you can pursue that organization for contempt. The finance bill is suspended. So the government, exercising their right of appeal, moved to the Court of Appeal to lift those orders. So the Court of Appeal will make a determination on Friday, the 28th. So we are also waiting for that determination to see, and then, but right now, since we have already argued in the Court of Appeal, my focus and that of my co-petitioners is on the petition that's before the court. And that's why we want to make our case. And our case is very simple, that we have a constitution that prescribes, it's very prescriptive on how our budget should be made. And we want to hold this budget against that constitution to demonstrate to the court and the people of Kenya that the government did not follow the prescription in the constitution for making a budget. And number two, we also want to show that inside that, those very, very many pages of the budget, there is gross theft of public resources. At this point, I want to believe it is the civil servants in the treasury, the technocrats who prepare these things. I don't know that the politicians are involved, but at this stage, I would want to blame the technocrats for padding the budget with the expenditure that is not going to benefit the public. And as a result, we end up with a very, very high taxation regime to finance fraud, very deliberate fraud. That's what we want to demonstrate in the courts, and I hope that going forward, Kenya will be a different place. Our money will be respected, our taxes will be imposed strictly in compliance with the Constitution, and the budget-making process will not be used to steal from struggling Kenyan taxpayers. That's our ultimate goal.